Hi everyone, Pam Gregory. I'm going to be speaking to you today about the second half of October and in particular the full moon that we have coming up in Taurus on the 27th. But firstly, I just want to remind us that we've got a wonderful aspect, very positive aspect happening all through October, which is a trine between Jupiter and Pluto. Now this cycle actually began in December 07. So if you can remember, if you can think back to December 07, whatever you were beginning, initiating then, we are now further along in the cycle. So very often this brings culmination or success or something very positive into your life. However, if that project, that subject hasn't worked out quite as you'd hoped, you could actually be releasing something at this time. But it's a very positive aspect which is going to involve Mars as well. Mars is going to join Jupiter between the 16th and the 18th, that's exact, and that will energize this aspect, which gives you a great deal of confidence. It makes you feel more ambitious, gives you focus. It really gives you a make it happen strategy and leave any limitations behind. So it can bring a lot of recognition, success, as I say, sometimes abundance, and being recognized and appreciated for whatever you're doing in that particular area of life. So it's very much dependent on where it falls in your chart. If it's falling in the 9th house, you may be having success with professional exams or success in a legal case. If it falls in your 11th house, you might be achieving some of your ideals that you've worked on for a very long time. The meaning will alter depending on where this falls in your birth chart. So you need to look to where 13 degrees of Virgo sits in your chart, because that's where Mars and Jupiter will be, at 13 degrees of Virgo. But also Pluto in that trine can act as a benefactor, working behind the scenes to help you, pushing you forwards to success. So watch for that too. And really, if you have anything between 10 and 16 degrees of the earth signs, that's not only Virgo, that's Taurus or Capricorn, or 10 to 16 degrees of the mutable signs, that's Gemini, again Virgo, Sagittarius or Pisces, you'll be really likely to benefit from this. So that runs all of this month. But just on the 22nd and the 23rd, we might have a couple of quite intense days, because then Mercury is squaring Pluto, which is about deep thinking, obsessive thinking perhaps, but also something demanding a change, a transformation in your thinking habits and patterns. Then the next day, the Sun moves into Scorpio, which always brings a bit of intensity with it. But also on that day, Saturn is in very awkward aspect to Uranus. Now, Saturn is about structure. It's often about governments as well, but it's about the way your life is structured, the way it's set up. And when Uranus comes into the picture, it tends to challenge that status quo, because Jupiter can bring shake-ups, as we know, disruptions, out of the blue things happening, some of which can be incredibly positive, but it shakes up the status quo, it challenges it. So that's a theme really I'm going to be coming back to in a moment, which is very connected to the full moon, which we have on the 27th at 3:44 of Taurus. This will happen at 5:05 a.m. Pacific and 1:05 p.m. UK time. So this is an incredibly powerful full moon, because it's also a supermoon. It's the third of 3 in a row, in fact, of supermoons that we've been experiencing. We had the full moon in Pisces at the end of August, then we had the total lunar eclipse, that was also a supermoon, and now another one. So as we know, full moons always tend to bring with them a lot of high feelings running high, a lot of emotion with them. But when we have a supermoon as well, when it's a supermoon, that is intensified even more. So there could be a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling happening round about the 27th. And we've been building to that because of what was occurring on the 22nd and 23rd. Also, full moons, as we know, exert a very strong gravitational pull on the tides, on the Earth's tectonic plates, but also on our consciousness. So sensitive people feel this really strongly when these occur. And also when we have a full moon, particularly a supermoon, it can reveal something to us that we were unaware of. This can be, depending on where it falls in your chart, it can be something concerning yourself, or it can be something that you haven't been aware of with other people. But because it's in Taurus, it is likely to bring up the qualities of Taurus. Now, Taurus is about about the fixed earth. It's about the material plane, and it's very associated with beautiful things, buying antiques, material security, keeping things as they are. That's a very strong impetus with Taurus, to keep things as they are, keep the status quo. But at this full moon, we have Mercury in a T-square to Uranus and Pluto. So just at the new moon early this month, we have the sun and moon shining a light on Uranus and Pluto. This time around, it's Mercury. So this is very much asking us to change our thinking patterns, change our perceptions, change our habitual ways of perceiving things. It's going to be quite a shake-up, potentially, for people in terms of their stale mental habits, anything you're resisting and not wanting to change. Also, at this full moon, we have Venus opposing Chiron. So the message there is to find beauty in the non-material. So not just finding beauty in your beautiful things around the house, but finding beauty in divinity, in spirituality. Finding beauty in the flow of life is really the message there. Now, you might find at this full moon that it shines a light and reveals the shadow side of Taurus, that perhaps you're not responsible enough with money, you're not grounded and centered enough. It could well be that. But whichever side of Taurus it reveals to you, I think this will be a very healing moon. I think it'll be a very nourishing moon. It will help us to connect to the earth, connect to nature, use earthing and grounding, and sit with our feet on the grass and really feel the benefit of that direct connection to the earth. I think it'll be really wonderful in that respect. So, particularly if you have a Virgo emphasis in your chart, sun, moon, ascendant, over the next 11 months, you're going to be really helped by the fact that Jupiter is travelling through Virgo right until September 2016, and that always tends to bring success, abundance, wisdom, personal growth opportunities in for you. It's particularly strengthened this month because of Jupiter's trine to Pluto. But also this month we have both Venus and Mars moving through Virgo. So if you have anything between 13 and 22 of Virgo, you're gonna feel that, you're gonna benefit from that. Now, they are pretty much in conjunction for the rest of October, and if Venus and Mars together are in your 5th house, let's say, in your birth chart, that potentially could bring a new romance into your life. But if it's operating in another area, let's say it's the 11th house, it could bring some very loving and supportive friendships into your life. So the meaning changes depending on where these fall in your chart. And as always, if you don't know where these aspects fall in your chart, just check out the link appearing above or below me in the description, because if you check out my 2-part tutorial videos, they're really helping people to see how patterns are unfolding in their own individual lives. And it becomes really quite exciting to see how planetary aspects are directly, day to day, affecting your life and helping your evolutionary awakening. That's very much the phase we're in at this time, evolutionary awakening. Also notice on 28th of the month that Mars is at 20 degrees of Virgo, it passes 20 degrees of Virgo. Now, I mentioned in last month's videos when I was talking about the eclipses that the eclipse degrees become hot for at least 6 months. So we had a solar eclipse, new beginning, on the 13th of September at 20 degrees of Virgo. So whatever was starting to unfold for you then, Mars on the 28th, passing that same degree, will energize, will reinvigorate whatever was already unfolding for you at the solar eclipse. The next day, Venus passes over that 20 degrees of Virgo mark. So again, that can bring beauty or love or success or creativity into the picture of whatever was unfolding for you in September. So in this way, we can really watch our patterns, our own unique patterns, unfold in response to the planetary movements. It's very exciting. So have a wonderful full moon in Taurus. Enjoy this second half of October, which has that beautiful Jupiter trine Pluto, which can help us. If you'd like more information about my book, my audio book, or my free monthly newsletter, I put out about a 3,000 word newsletter each month, just check out my website, pamgregory.com, or www.thenextstep.uk.com. And thanks for listening.